coming up this year. I've got myself very organised in the last week. So I have a talk schedule for 6 months. So January, we're doing the Tasmanian herb growers trip. You do not want to miss that because you'll see right inside these people's operations what they're growing, how they do it. It's fantastic. February, weeds and weed control. March, why herbs become endangered. April is chamomile, and May is astrology for growing and using herbs, and June is hypericum. So pretty good range of stuff coming up. So here we go. A book on Weeds Control Without Poisons by Charles Walters.
Don't you just pick them and use them?
He's an American guy. He founded the Acres magazine in USA, which is like a regenerative organic agriculture magazine, very pioneering. So here's another book I picked up, Peter Andrews. I don't know if you folk have heard of him. He had an earlier book called Back from the Brink. He's a guy who sort of has done a lot of work in looking at the Australian landscape and what water is doing there and how water flows. He's one of those pioneering guys. He's a bit like prickly lettuce in his personality. Very persistent and a little bit hard to get near. But he has some really great ideas. And there's a experimental farm out from Bungendore, a little bit way out from Canberra, where it was owned by Tony Coote, and they did a lot of work based on his insights in terms of putting leaky weirs on creeks to slow the water down, increase the water infiltration into the landscape. He's a big guy on weeds.
Did he set up a demo?
This is another one from Well Thumb Books at Cobargo. Malcolm Gladwell. He has written a number of books where he's looking at always looking at social trends and why this happens and why that happens. And this is a whole book on how, or as the title says, how little things make a big difference. And where we are as people who are into herbs and natural health and all this sort of stuff, in many ways, we're involved in education about herbs and health and looking after the land in our communities and with our friends. And it's really handy to understand how ideas spread and how trends are created. And this book, I've just started reading it, it's outlining sort of a whole number of factors there. And he's talking about the geometric growth of ideas rather than just an arithmetic growth. If you see the graph here, like if we talk about social media posts going viral, well, that's geometric growth. Whereas, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is arithmetic growth. It takes a long, long time to get there. So I think it's really good to read these books and understand a little bit more about what does it take for an idea to gain currency and to be spread around amongst people. So basically he's talking about a small change that's a catalyst leading to a massive rapid change. Australian medicinal plants.
Yep.
So it's sort of handy, but the knowledge is still a few steps away from being sort of handy in the clinic, because largely it's been a literature search. And a lot of it is second or third hand accounts of Aboriginal usage. And they're coming from a pharmaceutical and a botanical basis for the information.
And when I've seen exactly this kind of thing, and I have to keep telling myself, I'm trying to put a Indigenous medicine concept and stuff it into my westernized prejudices.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. Because these guys, what's it, Lassack is a botanist.
Yeah.
T. McCarthy, that lady, she's an amateur naturalist. Now they're fine, upstanding people, But
Yeah.
it's exactly as you said, Evelyn. They're coming at it from a literature search. So whereas the Aboriginal tradition is oral tradition, and
Yes.
it's from stuff that's been written by white people, gathering bits and pieces of information and chemical analysis of different plants. So they're putting it into their own paradigm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's one, I just got an example here. This is very revolutionary stuff. A fellow called Gunther Enderlein.
Parasitic microbes, right?
Yeah, he did work in the 1920s, and then it was carried on in Germany. So he's talking about pathogenic agents and their life cycle in blood and tissue and the life cycle. So this is really out there work on microbes. This is not mainstream microbiology at all.
No.
But